pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Action on the minutes. Motion to accept.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All those in favor? Vote.
Let me get you the Scott, please, a second.
Floyd, Scully.
And I second.
Adjustments to the agenda?
I have nothing, sir.
Public comments? Mr. Conrad?
Robert Conrad, Oxford, north end of town. I've been communicating with Adam and Rick throughout the weekend. We had 2 incidents that occurred Saturday. One was a rollover on right over here, and the other one was high-speed racing on Staples Avenue. And, you know, us people that are on Staples Avenue have had really concerns, you know, with a lot of riffraff that is at a certain place with the younger generation and with people that have just taken Staples Avenue as a shortcut. As Rick knows that he's worked with me and everybody on Staples Avenue a lot of things, trying to get certain riffraffs out, but I contacted Maine DOT Region 1 Traffic Division, Randy of the Traffic Control Division, and I asked him about maybe possibility, see what the procedure is to lowering the speed on Staples Avenue. And he said, we couldn't do that because Staples Avenue is a unstudied area. It's in a destiny area. And he said the only way that could be done is that the vehicles would have to be studied and the speed limits would have to be studied as well. He also brought up to me that, you know, to you guys as well, and I talked to Adam about it, and I've also talked to Ricky about it, that the last scenario part would end up being probably getting approval from the town. DOT said that the town can approve for the speed bumps on Staples Avenue to be able to control the safety and the speeds on Staples Avenue. We got multiple kids that are there. They can't even come out and play. Sarah, who's 6 years old, almost got hit Saturday night because of a vehicle that didn't want to pay attention to the speed, didn't have any common sense, and or the neighbors. So this has been an ongoing issue for the last over the years, and all these vehicles that came down Staples Avenue all basically came from a certain garage after hours. And so I chatted with Adam, see if he could call me back so we could talk about things. I also chatted with Ricky about it too, and I'd like to ask the selectmen if that, and Jim also put up new speed limit signs, 25 miles an hour, and I appreciate that, Jim, is that if this continues to happen on Staples Avenue, would you guys be okay and kind of have it as a discussion to have the approval of speed bumps on Staples Avenue to be able to slow people down on Staples Avenue so the kids on Staples can actually go out there and actually play?
Should be of any interest to hear maybe the police chief's thoughts on that?
Absolutely. Yeah, the problem, like I talked with you, Robert, is I think we need to address it with that garage too. And I'm trying to catch up with the guy that's running that to do that. My problem with speed bumps, and I have a granddaughter who lives on that road. So don't think this is.
Oh, no, I hear this.
I hear, my concern with that is though, if we do the speed bump thing, we have a lot of other areas with the exact same problems. And my question would be, first of all, who's gonna pay for these things? Who's gonna maintain them? And then they need to be picked up in the winter. So where's this money gonna come from? What we've done so far is, of course, Adam and I have dealt with Jim too. The speed limit signs have gone up and the guys have been made aware that there was a problem up here, which we have been made aware. We've been doing some great details up this end to try to deal with some of that. And there's another place from Norway where a lot of this traffic is coming from too, which we're well aware of, but that's what we've done thus far.
So have you actually made contact with the people at this garage?
No, I've tried, I just haven't caught up with him yet.
There's been multiple riffraffs. Ricky was able to boot out the first one. We had a second riffraff, we were able to deal with that one. Now we got a third riffraff, which is not the one that works out of it, nor his son is causing a problem. It's the younger generation that hangs out
Just
there
hanging out.
that are causing all these issues. And, you know, like Rick said, maybe we gotta pay them a visit and kind of push and do some paperwork if we have to. You know, but I mean, speed bumps would end up being the last resort. I'm not saying we'd like it, but, we're all neighbors and we all watch out for each other and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I couldn't get a plate number because it was going so fast. I was working at 37 Staples and working on one of my trucks. I couldn't do it because Randy Hall had told him slow down, and I hollered and said some, things, but he just kept on going, and as soon as he left off from Staples, you could hear him go down Woodland Brook Road. So, but I just figured I'd bring that to you guys' attention. Not sure what the town feels like, and, I'm willing to work with Rick and Adam and you guys and everybody on Staples Avenue is willing to work with anybody. It's just, we all have an issue of everybody's speed no matter what.
I mean, I think focused enforcement, which is what you and I talked about on the phone.
Yeah.
I think speed bumps, I agree with what Chief's saying. Speed bumps are one of those things that
Correct.
they are as much of a hazard as they are
Right.
a good thing too. And then highway has to take them in, put them out and all that kind of stuff. So,
Usually don't have to take them in.
because they get brushed aside.
Somebody will take them out for us.
They'll disappear.
Or they're gonna go around them, and any long's gonna be jumped.
Yep.
If
If
it
that's
ever
what we
came,
decide to do, that's fine, but
if
I
it
don't.
ever came down to that, some of us on Staples Avenue have already said, we'd agree to pull them in and pull them out.
But I think some focused enforcement is
Correct.
probably gonna be.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you guys-
And they have been conducting some radar details up here.
The only other one I got, is a lot of people have come to me and asked me, and I believe it's on the town's property, the intersection of Apollo and Staples Avenue, there's a pine tree that leans more and more and more. At the base of it, about 5 feet up, is pretty much gone. It's still, you can actually see it when you're going down this way.
Mhm.
So there's a pine tree that keeps leaning more and more. Phyllis was actually concerned about whether or not it ended up hitting her house. So not really sure what the town could do or whether there's money in the budget to have that removed. But a lot of people are kind of concerned about that tree because just the safety wise of it coming down on a stormy day or a windy day, when we get these ice storms or whatever. It has leaned more and more each year. A lot of us are keeping an eye on that. But I just figured I'd bring it to you guys' attention of the awareness of it.
Jim, is it the one right down here?
Yes.
Yeah, we've measured that, it's not in town right away,
Oh, no?
Nope.
Oh, geez.
because it's been brought up before.
Okay, no problem, good. Hey, it solves that problem. That's all I got, guys.
I just like to add to the comment about, not necessarily Staples, because I don't live on Staples, although it is up behind me. The Apollo Road, as you all know, it is a huge issue, and really do appreciate, Oxford PD, doing radar and those kind of things. I think really, and I know that there's an issue with the DA and things get kicked out pretty quickly, but in my experience being in Maine, as everyone probably is familiar, Mechanic Falls used to have like the biggest history of they wrote tickets and people just did not speed through Mechanic Falls and so I don't know if that would be a deterrent, writing more tickets.
And if I may, we've been trying to increase that as much as we can. Our criminal complaints right now are out of sight.
Yeah.
And I'm not making excuses. And we're trying to balance the two to make time to do the traffic details. And yeah, I'm well aware of the issue up here. I will be moving our radar trailer up here probably in the next week to try to help with that too, because it's been working in the other areas we've been putting out.
It's
I've
too
been
bad.
getting good feedback.
Yeah,
from
it's
that.
too bad the town couldn't buy the building next door, move the spot right there, and that would be like a super fixed problem, but anyways. And again, just to add to that, we have a major, drug problem, I think, just a few houses up on Eddie Cackman, it's actually in the town of Norway. We see it constantly, as the word you used is
And I'm
riffraff.
gonna be honest with you, I kind of briefed on it earlier. A lot
I'm
of that
very
traffic you're
concerned.
seeing is coming from there. And
It
we're,
is, and
we are working with
I'm
Norway
very
too.
concerned about
Yep.
that. And I really appreciate that the officers arrested that guy the other day because he was pretty intoxicated.
Yep.
And they were leaving the scene of the accident. And my son Eddie, as you know, is in a wheelchair. And I don't know what happened to the handicap signs that used to be on the Powell Road, but they have since disappeared. They are, I don't know if there's any on Weber Brook, but I would appreciate if the town put those handicap signs up. You'll see him, he'll tootle up from his place all the way down the Powell Road. They go get ice cream, they go to the dollar store. He's normally has his kids on his lap, helping him out with his wheelchair or whatever. My concern is like an hour before that accident, Ricky, he could have been there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I would rather see something done before my son gets in a tragic accident, or any child for that matter. So I do appreciate all your hard work, so just wanted to add. If they could put the handicap signs back up, I would love you to do that, so.
We will, but
Thank you.
honestly, I have to order some first.
Okay,
Yes, we
all
can
right,
get it back
thank
up.
you.
As far as Ricky and that radar sign,
Yes,
it don't work.
it's working
Every
again.
time I go by, it says 55.
I went by it today, and it was dead on.
Might be the driver.
I did say, I think when I briefed the board before, I am having issues with the sign because it's so old. And I keep doctoring it, but I did check it today and it was perfect, so.
I
I'm
think he's
trying.
making more of a
Perfect
comment
every
than a
morning when I
speed
was
one.
by Edwards.
Yes,
When it was there, it was perfect every morning.
So long.
Anybody else? So 5.1 is the Oxford Historical Society Patricia Larrabee.
So, earlier in the beginning of the meeting, I'm Patricia Larrabee, President, Oxford Historical Society. Earlier, when I first came in, I gave you some papers. I didn't know if Adam had printed them, so I just thought I'd help them out a little. So in discussion, Adam and I have been talking about how we could improve and, publicize our history of our town. We have a lot of history in our town. And I think a great thing would be to put a timeline mural on the wall. There's many ways to do it, as you can see from some of the photos I gave you. There's many different ways. I'm happy to do all the labor for free. As part, myself and the vice president of the society will come up and take care of it and work within your hours. But one idea that I came up with is these 11 by 14 canvas prints. And I actually found a cheaper way to order them online. Cheaper than I can even make them. So I didn't print myself a copy, but it's under like $500. You can order all of these, the vinyl, everything for under $500 to do a whole, and there's different ways to do it. We can either start way back in 1777 when it was Shepherd's Field, which brings in the Revolutionary people who are buried in the Shepherd's Field Cemetery, and bring it right up to the current. And, I think it's important to remember our history, because you don't know where you're going if you don't know where you've been. And these people built this town, and I think it's really important to share that. And I think the town with the new town office this is a great place to advertise that history. So I brought in this just to kind of give you like an idea without actually putting it on the wall. That's kind of a good size without being, overwhelming on the walls. And then I printed because I was having printing issues. So these are just like, this is actually the 1829 version of the town center meeting house. And as you can see, which I didn't know, it's a full wooden board all the way across the front, which now it's just brick. But this is what it looks like pretty much now. And that's what it used to look like. So again, I don't expect a decision tonight, but just to kind of wanted to put it out there that's in conversation. If the town is interested, I think we can do the whole thing for like $600. And I think it would be a great thing for the town and the townspeople, to have that history. And we have everything, as far as the original first selectmen's, all of that stuff. We have really great photos of all the old businesses, the canning factory, which is your established business now. So I just wanted to share that with you, and I'm gonna leave these with you, and you guys can pass it around, but, and again, there's all kinds of pictures, but we have other pictures if there's other ideas, if you wanna do a workshop, something like that, to talk about different ideas, I'm open to that as well. So that's not written in stone, but it's just to kind of give you a feel for what our history look like. Okay? That's all I have.
I mean, I think it's kind of a neat idea.
Questions from the board?
$600, really? What are we arguing about?
She started at 500. She talked for.
Well,
She jumped
no, because I'm sorry, I didn't add the final, and again, I think we can buy, because we're a nonprofit, and depending on how you wanna do, either the town buys the material, or the society buys the materials, and the town reimburses us. However you want it, we're a nonprofit, we get it tax-free, so it may be that much.
And you're talking to put it on the walls in here, or
Yeah, yeah,
go
and
up to
just,
town office?
yeah, just kind of start out, and then I think it would help, like even with the town meetings and, people would just be excited to come here and see, And I'm sure the advertiser would be willing to,
Are you going to have a workshop process with the Historical Society
Yes.
on this?
yes, because they're
You
gonna
could
help.
attend if you're.
Yep.
Just let us
Because, well, at least right now I have myself and the vice president, Ashley Rowe. Her and I are gonna, we'll tackle putting it in again. And I had talked to Adam, I think the best option really for the walls, not to damage the walls, is they have a wall type vinyl. I have a Cricut machine, if people are familiar with Cricut. It's a wall version, but it's removable. So it sticks to the wall pretty well. And again, it's cheap enough that if it's pulling off, you can reapply it. But it's less damage to the wall, it's not permanent. It's same with the pictures. I mean, I thought, well, geez, at least this way, rather than sticking pictures to the wall, these, you just put them on and take them off. You got tired of looking at it, you wanted to change it up, you wanted to do a different theme, change up the pictures, you could do that. You could do it by years, 1800s, all the way up to 2025. And just so you know, 2029 is our 200th anniversary, and I would really love to work with all the town people to do something, some big event for our 200th
Have a party.
anniversary, so. And parade and,
I think you're on to something here. Good start.
okay, thanks.
When would the board like to hear, about, does the board have any thoughts on like, if they do a workshop, like when, any timelines or anything you'd like to see when things have happened, or just stand by until she's got more, or?
Well, again, let us know when you're gonna do your workshop.
It'll probably be in August,
Any of us
September
can
period.
attend.
Yeah.
If I can go, I'll go.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody else.
Yeah.
And then probably come back and have a better idea of, total package, which walls you're talking about, starting out front and working our way back.
That'd be cool too, if you do it, I didn't
Just
think of the
a
lobby.
well thought out plan of what.
Again, I'm
What
open
you
to
think
your
should be
ideas too, so I think a workshop is the best place to do that, because, you represent the town, so I think your feedback would be very important as to what you wanna see too, so.
Okay.
And I'll let you know, so it'll be sometime middle of August before we have any workshop at the society.
5.2, review and approve Rock House Teen Center request for Toll Road fundraiser, Hall Road. So moved.
Second.
Second. Discussion, this is one they've done in years past, right? 2, 3 years at least now.
I think it's been.
They have, and Howie Monday come down and talk to me, he's done several of these, he's very knowledgeable.
My next question, I mean, you've done it before, obviously this isn't like a runaway train where,
Right.
you worry about that a little bit, who's next? It's gonna walk through it.
Generally, we get 2 or 3 a year from
We do, usually,
2 or 3 different organizations.
yep.
My same old question is, that if you got people standing on the road and somebody gets hit, who's responsible?
They got insurance.
They do, and they provided that too.
They have insurance. I agree, but if the town approves it and their insurance policy isn't enough, who would they be coming from?
Not in a public way, but,
Huh?
Person that hit him.
yeah, I mean, they're in a public way, I would think the vehicle's insurance of who smoked them would be responsible.
I agree.
Any other discussion?
The person that hit them.
Yes.
All those in
I
favor?
got that, I got that.
All those in favor? Opposed? 4-1. Consistent. 5-3, review and maybe approve overweight vehicle permit for Maine Department of Transportation.
Right, so just a short synopsis, I think I saw everybody kind of looked at this already. So Maine DOT is planning on doing ADA curb ramp improvements on Route 121 in Oxford between September and then June of 2026. So September of 25 to June of 26. They are looking for permission from the town to issue a permit to operate overweight vehicles on town roads, or I should rephrase, they're gonna hire contractors and they want the town to be agreeable to issuing overweight permits to those contractors. I spoke to DOT directly. I asked for more details on where this curb cutting would be. I just asked for more details. They weren't able to give me those details at this time. I told them I thought that seemed, it was difficult to make decisions based on that. And they said it's common practice for them to, when they don't necessarily know what roads they might need to use, it's common practice still for towns to give them the overweight permits or the agreement that they'll provide overweight permits so they can move forward with the project. I did advise them. I said that I felt this board probably would want more information than what's being presented here today before they agreed to look at doing overweight permits. But I told them I would bring it forward to you with the information they provided, and you folks would be able to make a decision. This is not saying that you're issuing any overweight vehicle permits. This is saying that the town would be agreeable to doing that if need be. But I'm sure we're all aware to access Route 121, the state does not need to travel on any town roads. So I'm a little confused as to why they're asking for this.
Yeah, it seems boilerplate. Whenever they do this job, it's just, wherever the job is, they send this out to get approval, They dig safe and put signs up and, like you said, even if you agree with it, we're not. I don't know, if they wanted to come in, I don't even know what road they would use to access it, right? So I don't have a problem either way, we can just.
I don't wanna hold up progress here, but. Sure.
I never,
I'm not
like I
keen
said,
on
I've never
giving
heard
them a
of.
blanket, here's a permit. You can put whatever you want for overweight equipment on any town road when they can't be specific on what they're looking to do the work.
We're not giving them a permit, we're saying we would be.
We'd be open to giving the contractor a permit if it's requested.
So some weird scenario, they wanna use Tiger Hill for some reason, right? And come in that way from Poland, I don't know, right? Like, we just say, no, go 26 to 121, so
I'm not familiar enough to where in the process do they have to get this permit? We say, yeah, you can get the permit, but you've got to apply for it.
We have to give them permission if the roads are posted or what have you to traverse them, so. I think.
Is that the
And
deal,
this
that
is
they
over-
do it in the spring of the year when the road was posted?
It's for
A year out, right?
November
Yeah.
of this year to June of next year.
Yeah, well, June would, usually they're up by then. I think we ought to be open, I'll make a motion that we'd be open to it, but we want the detail.
Right.
That work?
I have a motion.
You say
Second.
All right, so if you guys are agreeable to that, then there is something they're asking if you folks can sign that says that, and that's attached in your stuff. So you can take a look at it, and it's about a couple pages in, and that's basically what it says, is that if an overlimit permit is needed, that they can request it, and we'll work with the contractor to do that. So, that can go around at the end of the meeting like we usually do with the signatures.
Well, here it says that we agree that construction over the road will be issued. So that's not, no, that.
When I spoke to him on the phone, he said that I read it too. He said that he feels that this is just saying it would be agreeable to doing it. But maybe we need more information.
Personally, I find it hard to believe that they're gonna need anything overweight to do an 88 curb cut, so.
I know, it's so boilerplate, that's the problem, that's all it
They're
is.
looking
It's a
for
formality.
9 months of permission to.
And Scott, I asked that,
I
what
mean,
kind of equipment, and he couldn't.
It must be just something that they ask for every time they do something like that, I would.
What part of, 5 towns they listed?
Yep.
Auburn, Elliott, Harrison, November.
Any further discussion? We have a motion in a second. All those in favor? 2, 3. All opposed? 2. Phil and I were opposed. I'd certainly like more information as the permit process goes and yeah, that's.
We didn't sign the last time, we went through this whole thing before. People are, we were all saying the same thing you said then. We never answered or it never amounted to anything. Because that's exactly what they wanted, was a permit, and the same conversation was what you had. And it never seemed to go anywhere. So I think it just, Merry Christmas type thing.
Department head reports.
You have it?
Nice story, Jim, nice story. Good reading.
They're really busy. Mowing grass is really kicking our butt. I understand contractual deal didn't work out. Right now, with no extra summer help, it's not working out either. If you read the letter, we're spending about 10 and a half to 11 days out of 20 working days mowing grass.
Everybody.
All 5 of them, yeah. So we're not really getting a whole lot of road work accomplished. We have managed to change a couple of culverts. We made time to open up the intersection up in East Oxford. Semro Hill, Beaver Road, East Oxford Road.
Jim, I've gotten some comments from citizens on that too. That was very positive.
We actually stood up a stop sign on the opposite side of the road from where there was already, so now there's 2 stop signs. Hoping it'll help, not sure it will help. But yeah, we're just doing what we can do.
That road gets quite a lot more traffic than anybody would think it.
It does too.
And you'd think if you're doing it every day, you'd know where them stop signs were, but
You would.
I have seen them go through it.
We just had a pretty bad accident there last week.
Yeah, we're lucky that wasn't a fatal.
Yeah. And it's, so we cut it back a lot and added more stop signs and I don't know what you guys thought is, but I'm actually thinking about dangerous intersection ahead signs.
On the top of the hill.
Yeah.
Be a good spot.
And,
They come over there pretty easily.
Right, and if they are, like, there's no chance for them to have a stop if somebody's crossing that intersection. Exactly. That was an issue. In front of Mr. Jackson's house, his beautiful, whatever the hell tree it is.
That bush needs to be trimmed.
He trimmed it.
He was there, had no idea what we were doing down below. I
Uh,
really did. And he said, you come with me and I'll show you what limbs you can cut off this, and that's it. It's actually not right away, but I didn't want to cause an issue. So we cut what he would let us cut.
It is a lot, but it looked to me like he did quite a lot of work.
We did. And after we trimmed his beautiful tree, we walked back 30 feet, you still couldn't see the stop sign. So that's what kind of made me put another stop sign on the other side of the road. And we did it on Samuel Hill also, hoping it'll help people see that they need to stop there. Whether it will or not, I don't know. That's pretty much where we're at. Everything's going pretty good. We've been coal patching when time allows and grading roads when time allows. Things are going good.
Do you have the ability to track man hours on the mowing?
Oh, I could, absolutely could. I haven't, but I could.
It's 400 hours a month, if it's approximately 10 days a month, 5 guys, 400 hours. About 20 grand a month if you figure a guy at $50 an hour, it's probably a little bit more than that. Probably should think about sorting that out.
Honestly, we did sub it out 2 years in a row and it did not work out.
It didn't go well. So,
And so what's you've been looking for help and just no applicants?
Lapse. We've been advertising since April. I really thought once school got out, we might get some juniors and seniors applied.
Where are we advertising?
It's on Facebook, I think it's in the paper.
We have
maybe-
Facebook, some in the paper, on the main municipal website, on the town's website. And every once in a while, we'll refresh it on the, Facebook.
I mean, it's out there, it's just today's world, unfortunately.
What was paid, Jim, for that? Was it $18 an hour? Yeah, what I saw, I was seeing.
That's pretty decent for summer job.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is too, if you start to try to give them more, you're gonna be making
Oh, yeah,
as
no,
much as some of my guys are.
What areas are they, Jim?
Every town, all town property,
All town properties?
cemeteries, town buildings, Pismo Beach, Polo Fields.
I know the town doesn't have a sexton. Is there a reason why we don't have like a cemetery person to take, that could be hired just for the cemeteries? I mean, they would be responsible for the upkeep and cleaning the stones and on a regular basis. I know when the former select person was here, she did work with someone, to do that kind of stuff. But just a thought that maybe if they unloaded the cemeteries at least off the town's people, because there's a lot of cemeteries in the town.
That's how the contract was set up, was we had 2 separate contracts, one for the cemeteries and then one for the rest of the town properties. So, and we had a challenge with the contractor for a couple of years. I mean, we could certainly put it back out and try and do it again, but let's get to the point where we needed to try something different. 'Cause
And even when we had it contracted out, it went so lousy that we still ended up.
I know some young
Mowing
teenage
some of it.
boys that would like to make some money.
Some of that problem with the contractors is getting the right one, right? At the end of the day,
Absolutely.
we did it for years and we had pretty good luck with it. It's just getting the right one in there too. So I mean, obviously, we're not gonna solve this problem tonight, but
No,
but it's definitely something we probably should look into is how do, it seems to me we're tying up a pretty valuable asset. Doing something that somebody who's less valuable, a lower wage employee could probably do. If we get a highway super out there and a foreman that can run equipment, cut brush with an excavator and do miles of road in a day with an excavator and they're running normal, probably got them in the wrong spot.
I know some people are thinking, well, the town always mowed before. Yes, we did. It was totally separate. The maintenance guy actually headed up the mowing crew and he had 3 guys.
Right.
That was separate from the highway department. And at that time, the town contracted out Pismo Beach and Polo Field.
Right.
The town did not mow those. So that's a huge difference right there. We cannot mow Pismo Beach and Polo Fields in one day and trim everything. Just can't do it. And with the equipment we have.
Isn't there money in the rec budget for, like, mowing for field maintenance? I think there is.
Yeah, it is budgeted for this.
Some.
Yeah.
Probably not enough, but some.
We tried to base it on what we were seeing for the contractor cost, but then on the man-hour cost, what it would be. So I mean, that's where it's, so you'll see it in both rec and highway departments, so split between the two. Yeah. And it's in payroll right now because we planned on them doing it.
Right.
But I mean, I think that's something that maybe when we get closer to budget season, we can just have another conversation. on
Oh, absolutely.
trying to do this.
I know the last 2 seasons previous to this, when we did put it out to bid, it was expensive.
Yeah.
I mean,
Some of the
second lowest bid was like 60 grand. I get it, but
Yeah, in my calculations,
I
you're
can't be
like
able to-
20 grand a month right now. And that's not, I think that's pretty conservative, to be honest with you. So we just gotta figure out what we want. Do we want culverts replaced and do we want, roads patched and trees taken care of, or do we want them picking up leaves at a cemetery?
What are the rules as far as like, I know several young teenagers, high school seniors, juniors that, what's the town's requirement? I mean, do they like have to be a full-blown contractor that has insurance and all that? I mean, the town could hire kids to do that and,
I don't believe we're gonna hire anybody that doesn't have insurance.
Right, so if we bring in somebody else, they need to come with their own insurance, and if we hire them ourselves, they fall into child labor laws, and we are really, you have to be a certain age in order to run something, these pieces of equipment. I know there's 0 turns, but it gets,
It's sticky.
So you gotta have the LLC license.
you have to be able to provide liability insurance if you wanna be a contractor.
Just go back to the conversation we just had, with all due respect. The town guys are gonna have to go out, if you don't hire the right contractor, it's not gonna be right. And we're gonna have to pick up that slack, so I think it's something to consider, but if the ideal setup was probably how it was when you had a maintenance, if you will, a maintenance supervisor who hired a couple of guys, and maybe now it needs to be a little more, because there's more to do, but if the town wants to invest in that equipment, already has the equipment, is to go that route.
I mean, those 3 or 4 guys mowed 5 days a week.
Right.
But they kept up with it, but that's all they did. And it allowed us to do our stuff.
Well, let's look into it another time and try, like I said, we can't solve it tonight, but
No,
going
no,
forward,
no.
before we get into this another year, definitely have something in place.
And I don't need to sound like I'm complaining about more grass. It's just,
Well, we can hope it stays dry, you won't have to mow it.
I know. This is
I don't know what you make, but you make more than I wanna pay to mow my grass. That's what I'm saying, it's a waste of money to have somebody that can do what you do. Cutting grass, I'm sorry, I don't mean to belittle myself, because I cut grass, but.
No, but we're just not getting our stuff done.
Right.
I mean,
We're gonna pay twice as much money to get that stuff fixed.
Anything else from the board?
Put the 10-10-10 to it, watch how fast that goes.
I do that.
Treasurer's update, sorry.
Just a couple of quick things. So the $3 million road bond, that is moving forward. I've been working with the bank and working with the attorney. The final paperwork, I just signed everything and it just got sent in the mail. So we should be closing here very shortly. So that's exciting. Once that is done and we get the funds in hand, we'll start kicking off doing, the surveying and design and all that stuff for those roads, the things that are gonna be done. So I'm excited about that. Rabbit Valley Road construction, are probably all aware that that's happening. I did get a couple of complaints earlier in the week about it was taking too long to get through there. Myself and Jim actually took a ride over there. I mean, it took a couple of minutes to get through there.
Yeah, we need to-
4?
5 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, so it felt pretty reasonable to us. I know the police chief's gone through there, so it seems like traffic, yes, it's delayed, but there's significant warning signs on both directions, so it seems like it's flowing pretty good. So overall, that is the only negative I've heard thus far about that, so Those things seem to be going well. I also wanted to comment on your selectmen's item number 3, which is the treasurer's report that's in your binders. So those are close to the final numbers for the last fiscal year, but there is one warrant here that's gonna be posted to the last fiscal year, so the numbers you see in there are pretty darn close, but, cause I wanted to make sure I get you guys some end of year numbers, so that's what's in there. But once this is posted, you'll have the finals, but we're in pretty good shape. There's a couple departments that are a little bit over, as you'll see in the report. We can discuss those if you'd like, but, I think we're in pretty good shape. But that's what I have for you tonight.
You good? Heard anything on the mill project?
Nothing further than what we've discussed recently, so.
Yeah.
Selectman Adams?
Going once? I'm good.
So, sign warrants? One blue. Okay, it's blue.
We don't care about all that. Chief, did you take delivery of those vehicles today?
No, I did not.
Okay,
We was going to, events happened, so I spoke to Doug today.
Yep.
We're picking them up at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh. So just as a side note, we ordered 2 police cruisers 4 months ago, 3 months ago.
It was more than that if you want to count the episode with Bessie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So quite some time. Anyway, those vehicles have actually come in, and so it sounds like you'll be able to pick them up tomorrow.
Yes.
Where's that?
I have a question. Does that include outfitting?
What's that?
Does that include outfitting? No.
The monies that was granted, yes, but they're not outfitted. I have to have that done.
Okay.
I see some of the ones that I did.
Oh, right.
This was just usually, every time I have a house, we got a big one going on right now. Yeah, that's what he said, he showed me the video. He asked me, this was before Paul started working at Hammond Lumber, I didn't know Paul was working at Hammond. And he was like, what's he doing these days? He says, 'cause he was talking, because Paul's talking.
What's that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some of the demo vehicles.
Question, Adam? Whatever happened with the ATV plans to request road access?
So the short version of that is that they were granted road access, townwide road access. Did we figure out how long ago that was?
20 years ago or so.
Yeah, so it came back around that they'd already been allowed to do it, so it didn't need to be further
Okay, so
done here.
you didn't need to pursue it.
Correct.
Good, because we have to know what they're dealing with.
We've been a little worried about it.
Yeah, I'd like to see what they do.
Somebody may have said we need 5 poles out here.
Yeah.
I won't tell you which one. But it wasn't me.
Make a motion to sign warrants 118-02-345.
Second it.
Motion and second, any discussion? All those in favor? So,
Make a motion, we go into executive session for labor contract discussion, pursuant to MRSA Title I, Chapter 13, Section 4056D.
Say that 3 times.
Still second. All those in favor? So. And folks,
Thank you.
Have a wonderful night.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Good work,